Last night in my Chris Bassett video, I said the Mets have got to add some relievers. The next move has to be to the bullpen. And that's exactly what they did today by signing right-handed pitcher Adam Ottavino to a 1-year, $4 million deal. Ottavino could also get an extra $1 million depending on his performance this season. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Adam Ottavino signing, what it means for the Mets, and what else they have to do because there still definitely is more work that needs to be done. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. Comment down below what are your thoughts on the Adam Ottavino signing and what other moves do you want to see the Mets make. And if you're new here, you want to help the channel grow, try to reach 2,000 subscribers, you can subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. So Adam Ottavino last year with the Boston Red Sox, he had a 4.21 ERA. He had 71 strikeouts to 35 walks. And he's a guy that the best way to describe him is by looking at his Baseball Savant page right here. And you can see he is a guy that relies on spin rate and movement. That is what Adam Ottavino is. He's very similar, unfortunately, stuff-wise, to a Jeurys Familia, who also just signed last night, but with the Philadelphia Phillies for $6 million. So in my opinion, it's a bigger upgrade that Familia went to the Phillies than it is that Ottavino went to the Mets. Just the Mets having to face Jeurys Familia is going to make the team better automatically. But it looks like Ottavino got a bit unlucky because his hard hit rate was good and his XBA is good, xERA, x-slugging, all that stuff. He was just unlucky. He spent a whole year unlucky. What I don't like is that Ottavino is 36 years old. You know you're taking a risk with a guy that age. You don't know how much longer they will be able to be successful. It is only a 1-year deal. It is only $4 million. I'll definitely take him over Jeurys Familia just because we need something new. But I will say from watching Adam Ottavino when he was on the Yankees, there are nights when Ottavino does not have it. And when he doesn't have it, look out because you are going to be in some trouble. Look at his walk rate in the 7th percentile. That shows you that this guy, I mean, his movement, it's a blessing and a curse. It's similar to Miguel Castro where he has great movement and you're like, wow, look at those pitches that Castro is throwing. But if the hitters don't chase and Castro starts walking the ballpark, you're like, oh my goodness, we got to get somebody else in here. And with the 3-batter minimum rule, the damage might already be done because you can tell right away when a reliever has it or doesn't have it. That is the situation that it looks like the Mets are going to find themselves in. I hope that this is more so just a depth move just to replace Jeurys Familia because the Mets definitely still need more, particularly someone who is left-handed. We saw Jake Diekman sign with the Red Sox this morning. That was the best lefty out there in my opinion. So right now you're left with Andrew Chafin and you also have Brad Hand and Tony Watson. Chafin had a great year last year, but I'm just a little concerned because in 2019 the guy has a 3.70 ERA, then 2021 he has a 1.70 ERA. So when you see a reliever go from 1 year to the next year, a difference of 2, that's a little suspicious, and you wouldn't necessarily count on that happening again because we know how fluky relievers could be. They're very year to year. So if all of a sudden Chafin had a bad year, I wouldn't be shocked because that's how relievers are. Brad Hand, we already saw him in a Mets uniform. He had some good outings, but he had some bad outings too. And similar to Ottavino, he's only getting older. Brad Hand is not the pitcher he used to be. So there's risk involved in that department as well. And Tony Watson is 37. The Mets could find themselves in a risky spot out of those options, which is why I think they might have to consider the trade market for a bullpen piece. I'm not saying Josh Hader, everyone would love to add him, but we know the asking price has got to be sky high. But if you wanted to float Dom Smith around for some other left-handers, pretty solid left-handers on other teams, that could be something that they could look at. It's very similar to the starting pitching market where after all these guys sign, Rondon's gone, Kikuchi is gone, I'm like, none of these other guys really do much for me. If anything, I'm making a trade. I'm not just going to force myself to take a guy I don't think is that good. If I have to make a trade to get what I feel like I need, that's what they should do. And they did that with Chris Bassett. And I think they should do the same thing with the bullpen. If they're unable to get Chafin, because I'm thinking that he has a market, because he's the top left-hander out there right now. So a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. Some teams might give him a pretty good contract that is not smart to top when it comes to a relief pitcher. And it's not like money is an issue because this morning Steve Cohen also said, the 290 luxury tax hold, which is tier 4, the highest tier of luxury tax penalties, seems like it doesn't really bother him too much. So I'm not saying that money is an issue, but it more so comes into, I think, years is where the Mets would be a little weary because you saw with giving Familia that 3-year deal that come the 3rd year, you're like, we really have got to get rid of this guy. I cannot take another year of this. So that might be why they could be hesitant on Andrew Chafin. As far as right-handed pitchers, I really would have preferred Colin McHugh over Adam Ottavino. McHugh is such a safer bet. He is more of a pitcher that just gets guys out. He doesn't need crazy spin rate and movement to get guys out. I just think that Ottavino is too risky. I've just seen him blow plenty of games, whether it was with the Yankees or with Boston. He says he could strike out Babe Ruth. Well, Ottavino better hope that his command is on that day, because if it's one of those games where he's throwing to the backstop. I got Babe Ruth coming through in that scenario. I mean, I watched Babe Ruth, so I know that he would get it done. Regardless, the main thing is that at least it is an upgrade from at least the Mets have added somebody new to the bullpen. So right now their bullpen has Edwin Diaz, Trevor May, Seth Lugo, Adam Ottavino, Miguel Castro, and then it's a bunch of question marks. Still don't have a left-hander. They could add a Trevor Williams or David Pearson in the bullpen to be a long man. Other than that, you're looking at the Drew Smiths of the world, Yency Diaz, Sean Reed Foley, guys like that. Not that proven of relievers. I know some of them have good stuff. I know plenty of people are higher on Drew Smith, but you always could use an upgrade. The Mets have got to add left-hander, and they will. I fear it is going to be Branham. That's just the suspicion I get, but we'll see. But the fact that they just still have Dom Smith on the roster, they still have J.D. Davis on the roster. They don't really have roles right now, especially if Robinson Cano is going to be DHing every day. So you've got to use your surplus. And it would be nice to have depth in case anything happens, but do you really want Dom Smith starting every day? Do you want J.D. Davis starting every day in the field? Because we know it's an adventure, whether it's third base or even worse in left field. So again, I don't want to see the Mets sell. I don't want to see the Mets be like, oh, there's no lefty relievers available. I guess we got to take Brad Hand. I guess we have to take Tony Watson or maybe even somebody worse. I don't want to see them get into that scenario. Don't settle. Do like you did for Bassett. Get the guy that you feel is going to help you go all the way. If you want to see a video detailing all the remaining bullpen options, going more in depth about each guy, make sure to let me know. So again, let me know what you think about the Ottavino signing and what else the Mets should do. And until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy. Let's go Mets. Go get me a quality left-handed pitcher.